talk about this so that I don't get demonetized. It is currently Friday, December 20th, and I am about to go see the movie Cats. Harley, what do you think of that? Do you want to come see Cats with me? Thank you very much, I appreciate it. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren if you're new here, and guys, this is my mom.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
This is Deb Lipman. I wanted to make a video on here doing a non-spoiler discussion, review, reaction, whatever you want to call it, of Cats, the movie. We just saw it. I wanted to bring my mom with me to the movies because I just love like spending time with her and like my family. But also something that I found really interesting is that you've seen Cats on Broadway, like the original.
I did. I don't know if it's the very original, but many years ago I did see it on Broadway.
Okay. So tell us about that. I guess first, if this is your first on my channel, hi, I'm Lauren. Make sure you are subscribed. I talk about all things pop culture, lifestyle, everything. Anyways, so you saw the official Cats production on Broadway, yeah?
I did, many years ago.
Okay, and so what did you think of that?
Well, when I saw it on Broadway, I thought it was very confusing.
Yeah.
Didn't know kind of what was going on. Lauren's dad and I went to see it. It's pretty much like the movie in terms of everyone's dressed as cats and singing the whole time. There isn't a lot of dialogue, so you have to kind of figure out what's going on. It takes a little while to kind of get a handle on what's happening there.
Yes, it's crazy to me that it has such a cult following though. It is the longest running Broadway play, 18 years, I think that's what I just saw, and it's brought in $3.5 billion. Billion, that's insane. And it's so interesting that this is a musical that comes with so much confusion and it's still that big of a deal. So I've never seen any part of Cats, the musical, anything like that. And so this was like my first introduction to it, and so I thought that you would be great for this video because you do have that like Broadway perspective. First thoughts. It was interesting.
It's a suspension of belief. You have to become caught up in what they're presenting. I think everyone tends to try to compare it to other movies or something else in real life, and you have to just step back and kind of step into the whole
kiddie world. Yeah. And so I mean, I did go into it knowing that not a lot of people, everyone like leaves it being like, I don't really know what's going on, what's the plot like? And so I went into it with that, kind of knowing about the star-studded cast, everyone in it. Well, you said that you enjoyed the second half more than the first half, right?
Yeah, the first part of it was a lot of just songs and going from song to song and seeing these characters.
And introducing, each song would like introduce characters to you. Because again, this is a non-spoiler review.
Right, just generically speaking. And so you were trying to figure out what's happening. The staging was great, the costumes.
Yes, I really liked. Well, I have some costumes.
Well, it was
in my
interesting.
opinion. I liked the stage. That's one of the things that like I thought was so freaking cool. Obviously, during all this hype building up to it, we knew that they were making like everything, scaling it up like 10 times. That's actually from like a Cat's perspective. I guess some of my favorite scenes were Rebel Wilson's scene and dance number. I really liked her in the kitchen and just like seeing how large these pieces of like food were and the plates and like the pillowcase on the bed, the knife. Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool, and I really liked the lighting. I definitely feel like they're gonna get nominated for that. I love the colors. The costumes, so like there's been a lot of back and forth on the costumes and the CGI, and like I said before, they did delay the premiere of Cats because they wanted to go back and like fix the CGI fur. What did you think of that fur and all that?
I kind of liked the fur. It was interesting. You have to get used to it. Again, that was part of the beginning. It was startling to see these like human faces with cat ears and fur, and again, you have to sort of get into the whole thing and say, okay, it's not a cat costume.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how much of it was real and how much of it was computer digitized.
Yeah.
And Lauren had said probably more than I realized was digitized.
Yeah, more like a lot of it was. There are some like behind the scenes pictures, and if I can find them, I will put them up right here of them in their costumes, and they would put these like dots on their faces so they could like CGI impose some stuff all around it. I mean, obviously I know it's hard to like make a CGI cat, but the things that I guess I struggled with were like, how come some cats had boobs and some didn't? They had fingers. It wasn't even like they tried to make paws.
Right.
And the feet.
Some had shoes.
Why did some have shoes? Like, I guess because I've never seen the Broadway play, like
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm assuming, you know, they're cats on stage, so they are upright, because it is more of like a ballet type of dance
definitely.
numbers all throughout it. And then there's a whole number with the tap dancing shoes, that required shoes. And then the railway kitty was wearing pants. So does that mean that all the other cats were naked? I don't know. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I was very entertained. I loved seeing the cast. Guys, I know exactly what you want me to say right now. Taylor Swift's part was probably the best part of the movie. Taylor and Jason Derulo's, actually. Yes. What was your favorite part?
Jennifer Hudson was
great. I know, too. Yeah, she was really good.
And of course she sang Memories, which
was really great.
Fabulous.
It was really great. What was the one thing you said about Jennifer Hudson's one zoom-in shot?
Well, she was sort of sad in the movie, and she was crying sometimes when she was singing, and it was a really close up of her face, and part of the crying you could kind of see her snot running out of her nose.
I know.
Someone else we know that remarked on that.
Yeah, they were just like, they did just Jennifer Hudson dirty. Like, they could have like gotten the snot out, and it was a very close up shot.
Maybe it was just part of the whole scene. I feel like in all the questions, I feel like everything was intentional. This was, you know, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think every scene, whether it was shoes or not shoes or whatever, I think it was very intentionally done, and maybe we don't understand all the reasonings, but I don't think anything was an accident. I think it was all intentional.
The thing with Jennifer Hudson's snot is, something that we learned is that all of the audio that we heard in the movie was recorded live on set. Like, they had a boom and microphones all around them without, like, you know, having the little Britney Spears mic to their face. So that scene of Jennifer Hudson, it was really emotional. That was her real tears. She was really getting into that performance. That's probably why they chose to include it, because that was real snot coming down her face, and it's a beautiful, sad moment. But it was a little distracting, I guess. But
Taylor was great. I thought she did wonderful.
Taylor was great. She wore shoes. She had cute little heels. I did like. It was very creative what they did with the catnip.
Yes. Yeah, you can't get into all that.
I don't want to tell you guys the things, but
we do have to warn them, though, that it's about 3/4 of the way through the movie before Taylor shows up. We're sitting there waiting. So
Taylor's only in the movie for like 5 minutes, but her number's great. Loved seeing her. I loved her English accent when she was singing and speaking. She has like maybe like 1 or 2 spoken roles. It's just like this like funny English accent where like Taylor.
It's supposed to be in London, and
yes.
So yeah, that was kind of cute. But
it was great.
She was great. It's just don't sit there and expect her to walk out immediately.
Yes.
About an hour and a half into the movie.
Oh my god. I really like Jason Derulo as well. Jason Derulo was Rum Tum Tugger. I liked Jason Derulo's, and
Is that his name? I don't know.
Yeah, Rum Tum Tugger. He has a cool song.
He was great. Yeah.
He was great. Speaking of CGI and Jason Derulo, what's the best way to talk about this so that I don't get demonetized? There's been a lot of talk recently online about Jason Derulo and his.
You gonna talk about that?
What's a nice word?
The way he appeared in his costume.
No, we can get a little more specific than that.
It's very form-fitting.
Okay. It's a very form-fitting spandex on all parts of their body. There we go. Now you know what I'm talking about.
His form showed.
His form showed.
His form-fitted outfit.
So recently on Instagram, Jason Derulo got like in trouble with Instagram because he was showing some form-fitting clothes. Thank you, Mom. And there was talks about what they were going to do with the CGI in this movie, because everyone is head to toe in spandex, so they can CGI on the fur.
Does everybody know what CGI means?
If you don't, you should. I don't know. What's it stand for? Ooh, let's ask Siri. What does CGI stand for? Will she know that?
As a noun, it means computer-generated imagery. Special visual effects created using computer software.
Thank you, Siri.
Do you want to hear the next one?
No, thank you. We're done here. Computer-generated imagery. So it's like when you see Harry Potter or Avatar, all of that fun stuff. So there was all these questions they were like, so Jason Derulo just got in trouble on Instagram just from posting a photo of him in a swimsuit. What are they going to do in this whole movie? We heard that they had to go in scene by scene and like erase his form scene by scene in the most appropriate areas. And then I was actually looking up reviews right when we got home that they actually had to go in and do that for some of the other men too, just because certain scenes with like lighting.
Yeah, it was all the costume for the women too was very form-fitting.
Yes, it was very, very form-fitting.
It's a cat.
One of the CGI, like, I don't know if this is like a bug or something that I noticed. I was just kind of like, come on, you like went back to fix the CGI. There's a few scenes where you can see Judi Dench's wedding ring. Cats don't wear rings.
I just wonder, to me, that all
Do you
that
think
has to
that's
be-
intentional?
I mean, they had to have seen it, obviously.
It's like shining gold. Like that in my head. That was
She was American.
on her little paw.
Well, just the scenes, there was some definitely Broadway type dances.
Yeah.
You know, those were great. I thought those were wonderful.
I feel like one of the things you said when we got out of the movie, you can't go into it expecting it to be like every other movie, because this whole Cats world was created on a Broadway stage. And that really is where I feel like this story got its legs. For it to come from Broadway into the movie, you said that like, you enjoyed seeing the different.
Right, because they did have different scenes. Obviously, in a Broadway play, there's just
One
stage, and they would change the background. I mean, they actually went and showed
in the
different
streets
scenes.
and the milk bar, which was pretty cool.
Right, in a boat, things like that, which was great. Obviously, you get so much more of that. Plus, you see it up close.
Yeah.
You know, in the theater, you're kind of looking to see everything, and everything was so up close. So I enjoyed that part
Yeah,
of it.
me too.
I thought, and then again, the cast was so great. There were so many people that were. James Corden was.
I know,
hysterical.
James Corden was funny. So was Rebel Wilson.
Rebel
I
Wilson
really
was
liked hers.
great.
I love like I will say all this talk about how they went to cat school and they spent months and months learning how to like move like a cat. I enjoyed that. I definitely saw like that was very, very apparent, even with some of the extras.
Yes,
like at some points
very much.
in like the
They
tap
were
dancing
prancing,
scene.
like
Yes.
prancing,
They were
yeah.
prancing. And like when they would walk, they'd like stalk like
Yes.
cats do. In one scene, in the tap dancing scene, what I really liked was even the extras. You know when cats, when you like have like a laser pointer, they're like like that.
Right.
I saw that with in the tapping
Yes.
dance. They were like this, like all these like humans
Yes, I
that were
noticed
dressed
that.
as cats were just very like, and I was like, okay, they're more believable as cats to me.
And they would go like this.
Yes.
Instead of hugging like a cat would do, they would sit there and
They'd be
go like that. That was like,
oh my god,
that was cute.
I thought that
Yeah.
was funny. They also did that one time up against like a wooden pole.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, that's
just
real.
what they did,
That's
yeah.
real life. They literally just walk back and forth and like scratch themselves on it. So I did enjoy that
And the main
aspect of
person,
it.
the-
Francesca
yeah,
Howard.
who's fabulous.
Howard's absolutely great. I really, really liked her.
You could tell she was a ballerina.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
it just
like incredible
every move
dance
was, yeah,
moves.
she's a great
I wanted
voice
like
and-
more from her, honestly. Like in the beginning,
great.
we didn't really hear her speak that much. She was just like moving around a little bit. I don't know if that was like it's fine. You'll find out. It was really, really great. I really enjoyed watching her do that. People are asking me on Twitter, they're like, how was it? Did you enjoy it? And it's like, I definitely enjoyed it. It's just not like your regular movie. You have to go into it knowing that. It's so cool to see the set that they built. That really is one of like my favorite things.
Yeah.
I love the milk bar scene with all the colors when they're dancing on the seats. Like,
Oh, and the other thing was, did you pay attention when they were out in the street in London and every neon sign had some cat?
had a
milk
cat,
bar.
like,
They
Easter
said
egg.
Catsino.
Yeah,
instead
the
of
casino.
Casino. Everything.
Yeah,
Those
it was
little
creative.
touches that you
I like
have to
that.
really look. That was really cute.
I did like that a lot. Do you have like a favorite character? Someone you really liked or a scene?
I don't know. I liked all
I
of
know.
them. I mean, like the ones we talked about, you know, just it was fun seeing Rebel Wilson and James Corden. I really liked Francesca Hayward, I think was her name. I mean,
Okay.
she was sort of this innocent kitten, I guess.
Hold on, now I have to look it up. I don't want to get her
I
name
looked
wrong.
at it at the end.
I
It
think
was
it's
Hayward.
Howard's.
No, it was Hayward. I looked at it at the end.
Oh,
The guy.
she's right. It's Hayward.
There was a magician cat. He was really good.
Yes,
I liked him.
him.
Judi Dench was
I liked when they would do certain movements like cats. You know, when cats like will put their legs up in really awkward
Right.
positions and scratch. Like they had
Rebel
humans
Wilson
doing
did
that. Rebel
something
Judi
like that.
Dench did that too.
Yeah.
And that was just really funny. You're like, oh my, they're being a cat. So that was pretty funny.
So, but we will say, even though we're kind of saying we sort of liked it, the first part of it you may think, why am I here? I mean, we both kind of felt like, okay,
What's
this is gonna go,
happening?
'cause it was just like, again, it was just some songs. We didn't know what was going on. Getting used to the look of the cats, the sets. Like, I have to spend the next 2 hours looking at this. And
Yeah.
then part of the way through, they developed a little bit of a plot, so you kind of understood some things that were happening.
Yeah.
And you started enjoying it more. So, you know, again, I think the biggest thing is just you can't compare it with anything else you've ever seen.
True.
You know, throw that out the window.
It has its own charm to it. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like it is like a magical thing that you really do have to like believe and like get into. But I totally see how some people went to this being like, well, it had Oscar buzz and I just left, and like, what do you mean? It's its own world. It's not, you cannot compare it to Wicked or Rent or anything like those type of musicals, because the plot,
fantasy.
yeah, exactly. The plot is just totally different.
So you have to take it for what it is. The songs are good. The dancing is good. Understanding it from the perspective of the cat. It just takes a while to get into that. Because I know in the beginning I was kind of like, why did they really come back? But it was interesting. Yeah. I'm glad I saw it.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I'm glad we went. I'm glad we
the best
saw
movie
it.
I've ever seen in the world.
Yes,
It's a very interesting
I loved hearing Francesca sing "Beautiful Ghosts."
Yes.
Really loved that. And again, I loved so much that they recorded all of the audio that you see on film on set, because that gave it more of a Broadway feel, because every single line didn't have perfect vibrato. Every single line didn't have perfect pitch. And I like that, because that's what real live theater is like. Francesca's version of Beautiful Ghosts was awesome, because I've only ever heard Taylor Swift's version of Beautiful Ghosts. And it was so cool to hear about how Andrew Lloyd Webber and Taylor got together, that Andrew Lloyd Webber like started playing notes, and then suddenly Taylor like transported her mind into the life of like a stray cat and what they would want to sing about. And the line, "Visions of dazzling rooms I'll never get let into," is like, whoa, you literally became a cat and wrote a song from the perspective of a cat. It's very, very cool.
And if you wait to see the credits at the end of the movie, Taylor actually sings the song.
Yes, she does. I want to go back and listen to her version of Macavity or whatever, because I really liked it. It's funny to hear her with her little English accent and her little like flirty shimmies that she does all throughout it.
Yeah, watching her do it was really fun.
It was great.
She was great.
What would you give it out of 10?
Oh,
I know, I'm like putting you on the spot. I know.
Like this.
I don't know. So Rotten Tomatoes was given it a 19%. Yeah.
I think I'd have to give it ratings for different pieces. Like overall, maybe a 4 or 5.
Okay.
But the songs I thought were great.
Yeah.
The dancing,
the production.
was great. I'd give it a higher, I don't know, 7 or 8 in that area. So it just, again, it's such a hard movie to even classify, because it's just different.
It is. I mean, and there's a thing is like, there's a reason that it had such a cult following, so you kind of have to like go into it knowing that like it's not your everyday movie where you just have this regular character development. I feel like I would probably give it, probably similar to what you'd say, like maybe overall a 5 out of 10, just because I really liked the cast and the acting. I really did enjoy that. I love seeing how feline they could get. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, how do you turn a human into a cat? And
the plot, we won't tell them what the plot is, but what actually really happened, and at the end,
it's sweet, and I like that.
Right, they did have a piece in there you'll have to actually see what happens. But the story behind that plot piece was good, uplifting.
Yes, and honestly, there was comedy moments, there are sad moments. I just take a look for the colors on the set and in the backgrounds. That's probably one of I love that. It was just it was beautiful to look at, if that makes sense. Overall, like other stuff, like production-wise, dancing-wise, I would give it like,
except for the one piece I didn't like,
a 7, yeah. You're so funny. She has a thing about cockroaches, like she's just really grossed out by them, and so there's like some like CGI cockroaches, and my mom was like looking away, and I'm like, Mom, it's like pixels, like relax.
They were ladies dancing, there were cockroaches, but just watching them march across, it was like, oh,
you just reminded me. The mice or the rats?
The mice.
I'm sorry, I am a very positive person, sure, but what was that CGI for the rats and the mice? It looked like someone just drew a circle in like I don't even know, some weird, the bad 3D CGI stuff that you see on Snapchat with little like dancing hot dog. It was on that level. It wasn't great.
Some of them were cute.
You could tell for the main characters, for the main cats, they worked harder on their CGI. There are some other ones that you're just kind of like, yeah, you're an extra. You didn't get like you still have a human face. Like you're not a cat quite yet, but
maybe they'll get there eventually.
Maybe they'll get there one day. It was great, honestly. I do suggest that everyone do go see it. It's an experience. It really is.
Such an iconic story.
It is. Yeah. I'm glad that we saw it. But yeah, it's cool to see Taylor. Any last thoughts?
I'm sure there'll be a great variety of responses.
Yes.
From your viewers.
Very excited to see.
We'll be interested to hear what everyone else has to say. Some of you absolutely hate it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Again, it's just getting used to it, just, suspending that belief.
Yes.
Entering that
just
world.
Believing it, yeah. I feel like my ending thoughts would be like, yes, it is weird. Go in expecting weird, but that doesn't mean that it's not entertaining.
Yeah.
I was definitely entertained. If you are a cult follower of Cats, you're gonna love it. It does have this magical charm to it, and if you're bored in the beginning, just stick through. The second part gets a little better, and Taylor's in it, so. Well, thanks for being this video discussion with me, Mom. I appreciate it. And she's literally going to see 2 movies today because she's seeing Star Wars tonight, and she was like, do we really have to go today? And I was like, yes, I gotta make a video.
It's my movie day.
It is your movie day, so thank you very much.
Sure.
Thanks for coming on my channel.
Thanks for
Yay,
having me.
yay. All right, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Have you seen the movie? Are you not gonna go see it? Are you a fan? Have you seen it from Broadway? Are you a fan from way back then? Let me know in the comments. I wanna know what you're thinking. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and make sure you follow me on social media like Instagram, because I'll just be keeping you guys updated on what I'm up to here in Denver. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.